Hey, I'm William from the Zombie Star, and this week in comics, we have been trying to keep up with our weekly releases and are closer than we thought we could get. We have some follow-up issues and one amazing title that has finally returned and that I am caught up with. Let's see what we've been reading this week in comics. Alien issue number 9 and issue number 10. Since issue 1, though, Alien has been a really fun kind of extension from Marvel Comics of the Alien and Aliens universe that we all know from the films. Issues 9 and 10 continue a new arc that began, I think, in issues either 6 or 7, where an all-out alien outbreak is currently plaguing the people of the seemingly peaceful settlement of Hadley's Hope. On top of it being a really sincere and fun extension of the Alien universe, I really am appreciating kind of the extension of the xenomorph lore that this comic is proposing, and also the kind of closer look and the more complex take on the Weyland-Yutani Corporation that we know so well from the films. The early issues in the series kind of took this Space Marine Aliens more approach to its main characters and how they handled the xenomorph threat. We've really seen a big shift in the narrative, as now we're focusing on a small group of really desperate survivors of Hadley's Hope, as really they use anything that they can to fight against the xenomorph threat. This change of venue or setting really allows for just another layer of horror and dread for these xenomorph creatures. I used to see them unleash absolute carnage upon the unknowing people of Hadley's Hope, which really allows the comic to really display the brutal nature of the xenomorphs that we know them for from the films, and really appreciate that Marvel really did not hold back in that regard. Which brings us to the beautiful visuals in Alien, brought to us by Guru EFX, which is, I think, a good blend of some classic comic book art and cinematic elements that I think bring the unique look on these pages. From the amazing character models to the new venue of this very rural setting, but most importantly of the xenomorphs and the absolute chaos that they cause. Alien issue number 9. This is the cover for issue 9. We only got our standard covers, but I'm really loving issue number 10. This is one of our characters from Hadley Hope, and loving that Lara Croft alloy kind of look to her. All right. Demon Days Blood Feud, issue number 1, also from Marvel Comics. Really excited that I'm caught up with this. This has got to be one of the most unique things that I think Marvel is currently publishing, as it is first time for me a blend of anime and the Marvel Universe, really put into one, brought to you by none other than one of my favorite artists in the business, Peach Momoko. Not just unique for it being a beautiful blend of anime and the Marvel Universe, but also in the way that the stories are kind of told out and rolled out. Each issue is a number 1 and a story within itself, but at the same time follows the journey of main character Mariko. It uses ancient Japanese folklore and the Marvel Universe to tell this journey of Mariko trying to find out about her past and the past of her mother, which is a Oni, or a demon. Blood Feud number 1 brings Mariko's journey to an end, sadly. And as we see Mariko kind of get some answers to her family's many mysteries and a very deadly conflict. And along her journey, we get to see some of the most unique reimaginings and revisionings of some of the most popular heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe. And the beautiful world of ancient Japan, where any Marvel fan can enjoy the Marvel Universe in a very different but beautiful way. Written and illustrated by Peach Momoko, the beautiful world of Demon Days is brought to life from these pages in only a way that Peach Momoko knows how to do. Not enough can be said about how amazing this book is, not just how it's written, but also, of course, how it's drawn. And this is something that I've really enjoyed this week. Again, the back of the book says that the world of Demon Days will be expanded this summer, even though this does come to an end for this particular story arc. But happy to know that come this summer, we're going to get some more of Peach Momoko's world of the Marvel Universe in Demon Days, or maybe in some other title. Either way, it's going to be awesome. Believe it or not, we did not get the standard cover for this. These are all just variants of Demon Days. Here is a reimagining, of course, of Hulk. This is main character Mariko. Not sure what covers these are, but just check out this beautiful artwork. These are not all Peach Momoko. They are by different artists, but the artwork inside and the writing is by your Peach Momoko. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. And of course, did want to save this cover for last. Check out Scotty Young. Just doing what Scotty Young does. Absolutely beautiful cover. Absolutely love this. Alright. Geiger 80-page giant issue number 1. Did not know that this was coming out. Found it in my box in my comic book shop and absolutely was blown away by this. Geiger is a relatively new superhero from Image Comics, so to know that they're already coming up with, I guess, what would be annuals for Image Comics, something that usually Marvel or DC does, was really exciting to see that they're already doing something like this, as Geiger number 1, the 80-page giant, really focuses on building a Geiger universe, and it is pretty awesome. As the cover shows, the giant 80-page number 1 gives you a series of stories, more like a compilation series. If you recall things that Marvel has done before, and even DC with Batman Black and White, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, and of course Carnage Black, White, and Blood, it is just a compilation series. Here though, we are getting a bunch of new characters that are not very well known and only are really just introduced in the Geiger main story arc, which follows main character Tyreek Geiger, who after a nuclear fallout is exposed to an immense amount of radiation, turning him into the Glowing Man. And while the main story arc follows kind of his adventures and his travels, the setting, the post-apocalyptic setting and universe of Geiger is really just another powerful element that drives this story. In this setting, Las Vegas has become a kind of centralized hub for organized crime, villainy, and scum, pretty much everything that Obi-Wan says about Mos Eisley. In the main arc, I remember talking about how I really felt they were setting up a larger universe for this, and now for the 80-page number 1 being released, they're really setting up a world outside of the things that happen around Geiger, starting with plays on historical events like the American Revolution, the Vietnam War, to the fictional Unknown War, to the creation of the Glowing Man. This 80-page issue is full of independent story arcs and independent characters that revolve and build the world of Geiger. There's just way too much to really talk about this 80-page giant, as each individual story is starting to spawn its own independent comic line. Being that I am kind of behind on this, I'm really gonna have to hunt for each of these story arcs to kind of get the full story and the full universe of Geiger. But it's very exciting to see that Image kind of has introduced a new character, a really good story, a really fun new hero, and already starting to build this massive world of Geiger. As before with things like Marvel's Black, White, and Blood for Wolverine and Carnage, and Black and White for Batman, many artists and writers have gotten together for this, and each story has its own unique look, has its own unique way of being written, but is really fun to read and just an awesome addition to an already just amazing story of Geiger. This is the only cover, as you said, this is the 80-page giant issue, number 1 issue. Where it goes from here, I'm really not sure. I'm pretty confident they're going to continue the storyline of Geiger. I really want it to continue, but it's also just going to kind of branch out into many other different story arcs, including just some of the characters that are featured on the cover of this 80-page giant. Not gonna lie, I kind of was not aware of this. I'm a huge fan of Saga. I've been reading since the beginning, not since the release of the first issue. I did have to catch up through paperbacks, but I did read through issues 1 through 54, and did catch up with issue 55 that released maybe a month or 2 ago. But absolutely excited that Saga has come back. Knew that they did go on sabbatical after issue number 54, but knowing that this is back is absolutely amazing. And we actually caught up on these last 3 issues this past week. Very hard to put this into a nutshell given how much time has passed and how many issues have been released, but main characters Marco and Alana pretty much are on a trek across a war-ridden and war-torn universe, pretty much just trying to raise their daughter Hazel. And while that premise might seem simple enough, there is not a story in print that has more engaging characters, a more engaging narrative, or such unpredictable plot twists than the story of Saga. If that sounds a bit dramatic, or if I'm just sound like a broken record off several Image titles, I just really like Saga. Created by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan, Saga has been a best-selling, award-winning title, easily a top title from Image Comics, and since 2012 has been an epic space saga that is easily a must-read for any kind of comic book fan. Issue after issue, the visuals of Saga have brought this boldly expansive universe just beautifully to life across these pages, giving us some extremely unique character models, as the look of Saga is really just a standalone element that makes this a really unique book, a really must-read and must-see book, which really makes it kind of one of its kind. Could go on about Saga. This is issue number 57, only picking up standard covers. We do know that the covers for issue number 55, which was the continuation, did have variants. We did not get any of those, but this is actually the first issue, 54, after the title's hiatus, and is actually a larger book than the other two, kind of as a celebration for returning. And this is issue number 56. Saga is back. Don't know what else to say. This is awesome. Read it. And that's what we've been reading for this week in comics, while still trying to figure out I enjoy playing Elden Ring. I don't know. Let me know what you guys are reading this week. A lot of awesome stuff keeps coming out. We're going to continue trying to keep up. But this is This Week in Comics. I'm Whaley from the Zombie Star. Visit us at thezombiestar.com, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.